What's going on, guys? Raiden here. Today we got a game of domination on Cracked. And this commentary is going to be pretty important, so I'd really appreciate it if you tune in all the way at the end. I know this is a really long commentary, but first off, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my experience at this camp I was at. I mentioned in my last commentary, the one that wasn't live, that I was going to a camp this week, and it was really, really awesome. Basically what it was it's called Bands Alive, and I know you're like, oh, band camp, hot. Chuckles all around the crowd, but I really don't care. I mean, people can make fun of me all they want, but it's something that I, like doing with my time, and it's the way I get involved with school. But basically, I was a camp counselor for a camp called Bands Alive, which had a bunch of middle school and high school kids come around from around the Midwest and get some music together and play a concert at the end of the week. And it was a really, really great experience. I mean, it's something that I felt like I was really good at, teaching kids, things like that, and it was a lot of fun. But anyway, enough of that. I know you guys don't want to hear about band camp, so I had a really important topic to discuss, and kind of one that I'm sure is probably getting redundant at this point if you guys are subscribed to other commentators, but it's about the whole Alki David Billionaire Challenge situation. Now, for those of you that may not know what it is or haven't heard of it, basically this guy named Alki David, who is a billionaire, put out this challenge saying that he was going to host a Call of Duty tournament for a bunch of really, really big YouTube commentators. I know X-Jaws was a part of it, Woody's Gamertag, a bunch of really, really well-known YouTube guys. Alki David was holding this Call of Duty tournament. He was going to have like captains pick teams or whatever, and whoever won would get $10,000. And this whole thing was going to be live streamed, right? So this live stream is happening, and Alki David walks out with like a dildo and a bunch of other sex toys, and if that wasn't enough, he starts joking around about assisted suicide and about how he wants to do one on a live stream, and blew it away. I mean, it was just like crazy, and now the community's in an uproar and things like that. I kind of wanted to give my opinions on it and maybe see what you guys thought about it if you haven't heard about it already. But like I said, I'm sure that I'm not the only commentator you guys watch or listen to, so you've probably heard this story more than once, but there are different opinions going around, and I thought I'd throw mine out there since everybody else is. So, if you look at this from just kind of a moral standpoint, it's completely wrong. I don't care how much money is at stake here, but if a guy starts talking about like a suicide and joking around about that kind of thing on a live stream, I'm walking out the door. I don't care. I mean, $10,000, yeah, that's a lot of money, but if you look at this from the standpoint of what's wrong and what's right, obviously this guy joking around like that is not something that I'm prepared to tolerate if I'm sitting there with him. Secondly, he walked out with a dildo and a bunch of other sex toys. Now, it's already a sausage fest as it is. Okay, there's a bunch of dudes here for a Call of Duty tournament, and this guy walks out with a dildo in his hand. Now, I don't care how quote-unquote comfortable you are with your sexuality. If I'm in a Call of Duty tournament and the guy who's hosting the tournament walks out with a dildo, I'm getting the hell out of there, okay? I don't care how much money you're throwing at me. It's not enough to pay for my dignity, okay? And I know it was a joke, but come on. I mean, if you're going to do this tournament seriously, you have to think about those kind of things, especially if you're doing a live stream. Now, I think they did mention that you had to be at least 18 to watch a live stream, so technically, if they had followed those instructions, then, most people at that kind of age know what those kind of things are. But I'm sure there were other people tuning in that aren't 18. I mean, they're just like people playing Black Ops that aren't 18 as it is. So, to me, I mean, looking at that from that kind of moral standpoint, everything that Alki David did was wrong. Everything about that was just really just stupid. And looking at this from a commentator standpoint, I mean, I can see them kind of like doing one of those things where you're sitting there really quiet and you're looking out of the corner of your eye and, kind of laughing nervously. But you got to stand up for what's right. I mean, if I would have been one of them, and granted, I'm not saying that, I think of those commentators differently now. Obviously, if I was there, it would have been a different situation. It's easy for me to sit here and say I would have done this or would have done that, but actually being there in the situation when it was actually happening, it's different. But I would have been done with it. I mean, I would have said, I'm done. This is getting really weird. I came here to play Call of Duty, not watch you mess around with sex toys on a live stream, and I would have been done with it. I do understand that Alki David, being a billionaire, is a very powerful person and has the potential and the means to make someone's life very, very miserable if he wants to. I mean, if somebody walks out or somebody says something that kind of makes him mad, then he has the ability to make their lives suck. So I can see that from their point of view, just kind of like, I want to say something, I know this is wrong, but at the same time, if I leave, he might try to, pull something on me. And so it may not have been the money that kept them in it. It may have been just the fact that they don't want to leave, because if you have money in this country, or in the world for that matter, you can be a very, very powerful person, and I can see why they wouldn't want to leave. Now, looking at this from a community standpoint, when I started commentating, the community was a lot better than it is now. A lot of the commentators, when I started commentating, the really, really big ones were getting noticed by Machinima at that point, like Blame Truth and Hutch, and maybe like Xcal, and maybe like one or two more, but those were the main ones that were getting noticed. And now it's just like a free-for-all, I'm better than this guy, or I gotta do better than this guy to get a Machinima contract, and it really makes the people look bad who really don't have the motive to get a Machinima contract. And I have said it before, it is a goal of mine to get a partnership or a contract or whatever, but that's not my actual motive, that's not my reason for doing commentating. I commentate gameplays, I record gameplays because it's something that I have fun doing, and there's a difference between doing commentaries to get money and to have fun. I set a goal for myself so I can aim for the highest, so my material is always, top notch, or I aim for it to be. But I think, a lot of people would say that me having a goal to get on Machinima is the same thing as having a motive. Like, motive and a goal is, in my eyes for this situation, two different things. I know I'm sounding kind of confusing right now, but, a motive is something like, that's the only reason I'm doing it. A goal is something that is kind of like, I'm setting this goal for myself to try and get to that point, but that's not, the whole reason why I'm doing commentating. And when I started commentating, this whole YouTube thing was an outlet for people. It was a way for people to express their opinions about things, to put their material out there, to show people what they could do with their creativity. And now it's just kind of a thing where whoever makes the best videos gets money. And it's disappointing to see that. And, a lot of people like the community. They love the community they're in. A lot of people kind of are really, really loyal to their community. I am not so much about that. I mean, the guys that I'm with now, like over at Hardcut Cinema, people like Blue Eye Life, or Billy as I know him, Purple Grizzly, Red Legion, all those guys, and I know I'm leaving people out too, obviously. All the people over there, I really enjoy being with those guys, because we're all about at that same level where, we're underrated, we're undernoticed, we're not doing this to get paid, we're doing it because we enjoy it. Whereas people nowadays, the major guys, kind of have a lackadaisical attitude about what they're doing, and that's really why I don't watch them anymore. If you watched Hutch back before he got a contract, or before he was he worked literally at Machinima, he was really into his commentary. You could hear it in his voice. He was just a lot more enthusiastic. Now he's just really, really lackadaisical, really lazy about what he does. And to be honest, that's why I don't watch a lot of the big commentators anymore. I mean, you look at this from a viewer standpoint, and it's frustrating to see how these guys are taking their, their videos. I mean, they don't even care anymore. And that's half the reason why I'm not interested in watching those big guys anymore. I watch a lot of the guys I'm close with, but that's it. Another reason why is because when I start to watch them, I start to get down and depressed, thinking I'm never going to make it, never going to get as many subscribers as they are. And that's really why I stopped watching them in the first place, is that, I see all these commentators who are underrated and a little more, not as well known, and they get depressed when they watch all these big videos and big commentators because they're not getting paid, they don't have as many subscribers, they're not getting as many views, etc., etc. That's why I stopped watching them completely. I cut myself off from that because when I start watching those kind of things, I start thinking about what I don't have. And, what I do have, I have a great subscriber base. You guys have always been great to me. The community that I'm in with Hardcut Cinema and the friends that I have on YouTube are really great, and that's what I like to think about. When I start thinking about the big guys is when I start getting pissed off at the community and things like that. But anyway, guys, the game's wrapping up. I know this was kind of a random topic, and I try not to rant too much, but I just wanted to put forth my opinion on the community and what I think of it now. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day. I will catch you guys later.